Page 19, the Ash Grove. The top of the page, they give you a little bit about accompaniment patterns. The idea is in arrangements like what we're doing here, once you learn the piece the way it's written, you're free to rearrange it or accompaniment. Sometimes you don't get the notes, you only get the chords and you have to make up the arrangement. The guitar players do this a lot. Well, let's take a look here, like in the first line in the left hand, they give you the chords. They give you one chord, two measures of that, and then a 4 chord and a 5/7 chord, that type of thing. You can play them as block chords. We've been doing that all together. You can play them as broken chords the way they're shown here. 3/4 time it's this way. Maybe in 4/4 time it'd be this way. Something there. Third line down, you got another pattern for broken chords. Or in 4/4 time it might be this. The pattern used is up to you and your imagination. It could be anything, really. I mean, it's up to the chord. You only have to play it there. I could play it somewhere else. I could play it all on. Wherever, it doesn't matter. And so it makes it a little more interesting and more fun for the accompanist or the piano player if you can start making up stuff as you go along. Now, if it's serious classical music and you're playing it the way the composer wrote it, don't be improvising, play it the way it's written. But in stuff like this, where it's an arrangement, if it's a song or an arrangement of some sort, then have fun with it. Experiment. However, you learn it the way it's written first, and then you go experiment. The idea is if you're going to change something, you got to know you changed it. Because if you change something without knowing it, that's an error. That's a mistake. Well, let's go over this piece here, starting with the right hand. Here, you're in the key of F major. It's 1 flat. All the B's are flat. Make sure you get all these notes. B flat. And at the end of the first line there, that last measure there, you got to go to your crossover and down. We're not in that 5-finger position. We're starting to move around. Good luck with that. But then you're here, and then reach up 3rd finger. 2nd line, 2nd measure, reach down. And they're saying lift up. I don't like that. Ugh. So I would suggest, rather than using a 2, this is the 2nd measure, the 2nd line. You have 1, 2, 2. No. Starting with the 1st measure of the 2nd line, I suggest you do this. For the last 8th note, rather than the 2nd finger, use thumb and cross over there with 3rd finger. And then you can either thumb or 2nd finger, whichever. And then you just thumb. I don't have to do this. That to me is hard. I would never finger a piece like that if I didn't have to, and I don't have to. So just take a pencil and write it in. Again, it's 3rd finger to start the line, and then a thumb on the E, cross over 3rd finger, and I'm going to use 2nd, 3rd finger for these. You can use thumb if you want. If that's easier for you, it's okay. And then 2nd finger for the C if you want, or you thumb. It's up to you. At this point, there's different ways of fingering it. So I think this fingering they're suggesting is rather difficult. Then go on. 2nd finger at the beginning of the third line. And you work out all these notes. I suggest in the last line, 1st note, put 3rd finger on that, not 2nd. This way you're in position for this. And then cross over, reach up. That's an E natural. You get that? Then go back and get the rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 3/4 time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. just quarter notes and eighth notes. I'm hoping you can get those. Then we can look at the left hand. The left hand's got the chord accompaniment. Keep the left hand soft. So here, that first note, by the way, is melody. That's not accompaniment. So this has to be the same loudness as you're doing the right hand melody, whatever that is. So it's louder and then soft. Can you do loud? Soft. And these broken chords, just follow that. Your hands can move around a little bit, but you'll work that out. And then the third line down is broken chords again. Just follow their fingering, you're fine. The third line down, the second full measure. You see underneath the two I's, the I, Roman numeral for 2, that is a 2 chord in the key of F. Because it's built on the second step of the scale. There's 1, 2, and there's a B flat in the key signature in F. It's a 2 chord. That's all it is for. And then a 5/7 chord. And the last line, first measure, that is a 6 chord. And then a 4 chord. Now, I suggest for the last line, second measure, rather than a 5/3/1, because of what's next, I suggest you figure that a 2 instead of 1. That way you can get this chord a little more easily. Otherwise you gotta come up here. I don't recommend that. So 2 on that one. And then, like so. Then you put the hands together, slowly. So work it all out very carefully, and then you got to get to the point where you can play it without hesitating on the beat. So keep it slow until that beat 1, 2, until it's steady. You can speed it up later. Just got to get the notes and the rhythms and this fingering out now. Then we can add maybe the dynamics and the slurs. It's soft. That's the melody at the beginning. Decide how soft that is and make the left hand softer. And your slurs lift up. They're in the second line between the two F's. So there's a little silence between them. Again. Going on. Staccatos, you got the staccatos in there, they're all over the place, look out for them. It's soft at the beginning, the third line, it's medium loud, that's the melody. You'll have to decide what that is. And you'll figure it out whenever you decide, and then at the end, you crescendo. Go up to loud, and then when you go back, this DC al fine means go back to the beginning, you're soft. So, and then the fine is at the end of the second line. And when we do the play with me on that fermata at the end of the second line, I'm going to hold that 4 counts instead of 2. When you're actually playing the piece, you just hold it out until it feels right, and then you let go. Now, a little bit about fermatas. At the end of the second line on that, I said I would hold that 2 extra counts, and I will, it's all right. But when you're actually playing the piece, the first time you're going through it, when you go from there to the next line, you can skip the fermata. You really don't need the fermata until the very end. So at the last 2 measures of the second line going on would be, just go on. You don't need to hold that out. But after you've done the DC and you come back, that's when you can hold it out. But as I said, in the play with me, I'm going to hold it out both times because we need the practice, why not? Now, grazioso, gracefully, graciously, whatever, I don't know. It's just, what do you think? And then the left hand is, they don't mark it staccato on everywhere, but I would go ahead and, this is typical. Connect the first 2 notes and then disconnect the other notes. how short those are, that's up to you. That's an interpretive thing. But don't try and connect them. And when I get to the third line, you see underneath the staff, it's LH legato. That means left hand legato, smooth, connected. So these are all connected as best you can. And to the last two measures, you have this and a staccato. And then you go back to the top. How fast do you think it should go? I think I've been doing it about. I tend to slow down a little bit. That's an interpretive thing, and then go up. Just make sure the right hand is louder than the left. We want to hear the melody. Let's play this together slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'm just going to play the notes and the rhythms. So put your hands where they go, and here we go. I'll give us 2 counts because there's a pickup beat. Ready, go.